Hi, Jay from Express Screen. Today's video is going to be unboxing your QS2536 and using it for the first time. This one we've already gotten out of the box. We've already pulled the tape off of it. So that's the first thing you need to do is go through and take all the protective tape that is on your QS and pull it off. Another thing is with this black handle, and underneath it, protecting the thermal head, will be a small piece of foam. You need to go ahead and get that out. And you need to make sure that you put it on a flat, level surface. The legs are adjustable, so you need to try and get it within a bubble once you get it leveled out, and that's leveled left and right and lengthwise as well. The next thing we're going to do is remove the shipping brackets. And what you'll see is it's these two brackets, L-shaped brackets right here. Use a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. The reason I say number 2 is because if you use a number 1, you might tear the head out on it. So make sure a good sharp number 2 Phillips. And take all 4 screws out. And we'll get the second one. And when you get done, there is a storage space you'll see in your manual for these. And it's underneath this panel. And if you don't feel like taking that panel, just make sure you put these somewhere where you know they're at and hang on to them. And you're going to find a little pack of screws along in your owner's manual, and you're going to put those back in. Now, if you can't find them, it's okay to put these are technically the shipping screws, but it's okay to just put these back in. Now these are, at this point, kind of vanity screws. They're not holding any weight, so you don't have to put them back in super tight. And 4 more to go. Now, the top screws, if you have a little bit of trouble, make sure you don't cross thread them. If you have a little trouble getting the top screws back in, what you can do is loosen this screw and this screw, the other 2 little vanity panel screws. Just barely break them loose, and what they'll do is allow that plate to float. So you leave all your screws loose until you get them lined up, and then you tighten all of them up. Sometimes that happens, that it's a little bit tight putting them in there. And all right, got all those in. Okay, next thing we're going to do, make sure that the carriage slides freely, nothing is obstructing it. So we're just going to take our hand and grab the carriage, and then we're just going to slide it. Okay. You'll have to pull kind of hard on it. Just want to make sure that nothing's in its way. Then you can go ahead and hit the power switch. It'll take it just a second to boot up. And this right here is going to be for your screen selection size. And so this tray slides back and forth. I'll show you a little bit more more about it in a moment. Okay, so now we've got the machine up, and it's got 4 stationary lights. That means everything's good. We're ready to work with it. Next thing I'll show you, you use this black handle to lift the thermal head up. Now, there's the thermal head. That's the business part of it. And the thermal head is actually not this prism part. It's this black part right here. And you're not going to hurt anything by touching it. You don't want to scrape like your ring across it or any sharp metal object. And that's the part you're going to want to clean every once in a while and get dust off of it. So if you're not using the QS, it's best to leave the lid closed and maybe put a sheet or a towel over the top of it. Okay. Now, this back here on the back side, this is your screen width adjustment. And I'll go get a screen and show you how to use that. Now, if you're using the Riso quick frames, they're going to look like the 2123s look like this. They've got 12 screws in them. And you are going to be using them in landscape position. So that means when I go to put them on, I'm going to put them on sideways, because portrait is this way and landscape is this way. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, lift this up, and you don't have to have a mesh in it. Now, again, you want to make sure you don't hit the edge of the frame on that thermal head. That's what the backstop right there is for. So I'm going to lay that to the backstop. Okay. And then on the other side, trying to do this one-handed, really need to do it two-handed. Pick my screen up. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lock it into place. I'm just going to gently rest it there. And I'm going to gently set this down. Not all the way, not going to lock it into place. Now, since we have 3 screws, you'll see on the back side, this little V-notch right here. I should be able to see the center of the screw because it's the center of the frame. And so what I'll do is I'll loosen these up. And I will slide this piece and my frame until I get it centered. Maybe I don't have it loose enough yet. Okay, and if you look down in there, you can see the center of my screw. So I will lock that into place. Move just a little bit. And that's going to be the size for my 21 by 23 frames. If I'm using the 2331s, I've got several adjustments to make. As you can see, it don't fit at all. So what I'll do is loosen this up and pretty much pull it all the way out. And then now I have to, hang on a second. And you'll see the exact same amount of distance on the head, the thermal head, on each side of it, right here and right here. And so I've got it centered in there. What I'm going to do on this end is I just slide this until it locks into place, until it's tight into place, and then I'll lock it down. I do the same thing with the smaller 21 by 23 frames. And I'll show you how to put those frame sizes into your print driver, so the QS will know what size of frame that you have. Okay, I'm going to show you how to set your printing preferences. Jared's going to do another video of how to install the driver. It's pretty straightforward. And anyway, so what you'll do is go down to Windows 10, Go down to, usually be the left-hand, bottom left-hand corner, Start, Settings, Devices, Printers and Scanners. And then, this is of course after you have your driver loaded, and then Riso Goku Pro Series. Now yours is probably going to say 2536. Mine says Series because I have the 100 and 2536. So you'll just click on it, then click on Manage. And you won't have to do this either because yours will just say 2536. And then go to Printing Preferences. Okay, you can go to this page inside of your print driver, inside of CorelDRAW or Illustrator, and make changes there. But this is so you have a default setup, okay? So you won't have to change it every single time. At the top, the first page that you come up to is going to be for your frame size. So you got maximum 25 by 36, and then custom. Click on custom. I've already got my custom frame size set, 23.23 wide. That's going to be the standard, and 21.5 inches long. The frame width thickness is 1.5 inch. Okay. And you're going to make sure that if you're using the 21 by 23s, that you're using landscape. And click apply. Okay. The other thing you'll notice in the driver, your second tab is image. Now, if you're doing vector images, hard edges, you're going to leave it on Green Touch. And see how the screen frequency and screen angle are locked out? So that means you're going to work with vector images at this point. If you're trying to pull halftones, then you will click Screen Covered, and now I can adjust my screen frequency and screen angle. You click Apply, it's going to apply those changes, and those will be the default changes that you're going to have when you go output from CorelDRAW or Illustrator.